For this experiment, prepare a warm water bath having a beaker and around 50 ml of water and a boiling chip on a hot plate. Prepare a TLC developing chamber by outfitting a 100 ml beaker with a folded piece of filter paper and a watch glass or a piece of aluminum foil to cover the beaker. Add developing solvent to the chamber or beaker to a depth of no more than half centimeter. Cover with aluminum foil or a watch glass. This is approximate. The volume is approximate, but it is approximately close to 0.5 centimeter. Now obtain 4 TLC plates. On each, draw the origin line 1 centimeter from bottom of TLC plate. Again, this is approximate. On each, indicate with small cross hatch where 9-fluorinol will be spotted and mention reaction 1, reaction 2, reaction 3 on the corresponding TLC plates. The last TLC plate will be used for the final isolated product. You can mark it as reaction 4 or you can mention as final product. Now I'm writing alcohol, co-spot and ketone or product. Now what is this co-spot, guys? Think about it. So now let's spot the starting material 9-fluorinol, which is dissolved in acetone and will be provided by your instructor on each plate. You spot it on alcohol as well as you spot it on co-spot. What is co-spot? So to save time, I would spot this starting material on all 4 TLC plates. Keep these TLC plates and the TLC chamber adjacent to the hood space in which you are carrying out the reaction. The reaction mixture will be periodically spotted. Now weigh approximately 100 milligram of 9-fluorinol. You can use a spatula or a scoop to take the solid from the vial or from the bottle. Record precisely how much directly in your notebook. Now transfer this solid in a 50 ml aluminum flask. Add a boiling stone. You know the purpose of boiling stone, isn't it? Now obtain 4 ml of acetone. Again, it is approximate, It's just a solvent to dissolve your starting material. And transfer in the flask. You will see most of your product will dissolve immediately. Now place this flask in a preheated water beaker. Make sure the temperature is not above 55 degrees Celsius. You know why. Now we will add few drops of acid catalyst which is acetic acid. The order in which the reagents is added is very important. And you place your flask back in the beaker. You can heat the reaction mixture for 30 seconds or a minute before you add your next reagent, which is bleach. How much bleach do we need? Approximately 2 ml. Again, this is again an approximate value. You need to record the amount you use. Now, as soon as you add bleach, you need to take a sample from the reaction mixture so that you can spot it on your TLC plate. You can use a thin capillary. Just pay attention. I added bleach, I mixed it. Did you see the color change? Now I took a sample and I spotted it on the third spot and the cause spot. And you can place your TLC in the developing chamber. Make sure you do not disturb the TLC developing chamber. In the meantime, you can swirl the flask to make sure the solution is homogeneous. When you develop a TLC plate, it takes time, so you can watch the TLC plate, but it is highly recommended you do not disturb the TLC chamber. Now, once you elute your TLC plate, you will have to use UV light to see the progress. Why should we use UV light? Think about it. So once you take out TLC plate from developing chamber, you need to spot or you need to mark the solvent front. Now use UV light to check the reaction. You see, in case of alcohol, you only have one spot. For co-spot, you have two spots, and for ketone, C double bond O, you have two spots. What does it mean? You have two spots in C double bond O, and if you see carefully, one spot is correspond to the alcohol starting material, and the second spot is something new. We do not know what it is. We assume it is our product. Why? Because ketone will be more non-polar than alcohol, so that should move faster. But at this point, we do not know that is our product or not. We just assume. Now you can draw TLC plate in your notebook just for your records. Now this has been few minutes. Our reaction is going on. We will spot the second TLC plate using a new capillary. This is very important, guys. You take a new capillary and spot on co-spot as well as C double bond O or product or reaction. on reaction number 2 TLC plate, and we will repeat the same process. We'll see whether we observe any difference or not. We will do the same thing again. Now developing TLC takes time. Now let's see what do we see in this TLC plate. I made a small mistake here. Think about it. What was that? Now you can clearly see that starting material has been disappearing. You can compare with your reaction 1 TLC plate. Now you can clearly see that reaction 2 has small amount of starting material left, which is alcohol. So I told you I made a mistake, and that was I did not mark the solvent front. And I like to draw my TLC plate in my notebook just to make sure if I lose my TLC plate, I have something for my records. Now, at this point, we still have some starting material left. So there might be a chance that we might need to add a little bit more of bleach. So I will add around like 0.5 ml of more bleach, just to make sure that my reaction goes for completion. I will add in the same flask, and I will swirl it for a couple of time. And I will mention in my notebook that I added extra bleach. At this point, I am ready to take sample number 3 or for my reaction number 3 TLC plate. At this point, you must have learned what is gauze spot. And I will do the same process one more time. Let's see what do we observe, whether our reaction is moving in the forward direction, whether our reaction is going for completion or not. Now let's compare all three TLC plates. What do you think, guys? I don't see any starting material in reaction 3. You can compare, even though the spots are little bit closer, and think what we could have done to separate those spots. But you can compare reaction 1, reaction 2 and reaction 3 plates, and you can see how the starting material has been consumed over the time. Once the reaction is complete and the reaction mixture shows no more starting material by TLC, you can remove your flask, unplug hot plate, and I'm sure you must be recording or looking at the time the reaction was taking place. For oxidizing agent using Ki starch paper. It's basically a white thin strip. You place it on a watch glass and you take a drop of your reaction and see whether it turns black or not. Now this is a good question, why it turns black or why it does not turn black. So if it turns black, you need to use sodium thiosulfate. You take approximately 0.2 gram and you add to the reaction mixture. Writing everything in your notebook is very, very important. I'm trying my best to write as many details as I can write or record. Now, let's take approximately 0.2 gram of sodium thiosulfate. Now mix it well. I'm seeing whether it's an exothermic or endothermic reaction. I did not observe any heat. Now we will repeat the same process. We will do potassium iodide starch paper test one more time. Now it did not turn black. It means we do not have any more oxidizing agent present in the reaction. So we can move to the next step. Now let's check the pH of the reaction. And we will use litmus paper to check the pH. So if it turns red, it means the solution is acidic. And to make it neutral, we will use sodium bicarbonate. You can use a sodium bicarbonate solution, like saturated solution, or you can take some of the sodium bicarbonate, again 0.1 or 0.2 gram, and you can add to the reaction mixture. Now we will add 3 to 4 ml of hexane to the reaction flask, and we will swirl the reaction mixture. Why did we add hexane? Our product can be easily dissolved or easily mixed with hexane. Now transfer the reaction mixture into a separatory flask. Make sure it is closed and you have a beaker underneath the flask. Transfer all the solution. I'm just rinsing my flask using leftover hexane. I will mix the flask again. Two layers will form. One will be product dissolved in hexane and one will be aqueous layer. Now, to determine which one is organic, which one is aqueous, you need to think about density. Now, organic layer will be at the top. Now, at this point, you can decant the aqueous layer and collect in the beaker. And collect your organic layer in another 50 ml aluminum flask. At this point, we will add sodium sulfate just to make sure no water is present in the reaction. Now, how much sodium sulfate do we have to use? Think about it. Once you add sodium sulfate, you can let it sit for few minutes to make sure sodium sulfate absorb all the water present in the flask. Now, in the meantime, I will take a watch glass. I will check the weight of empty watch glass and I will record in my notebook. Now, this is one of the most crucial steps where students make mistake. Make sure your watch glass is completely dry. And then I will transfer all the liquid without disturbing any solid in the flask. This step is known as decanting. And now we can do our fourth TLC. You remember we had 4 TLC plates. So because now we have finished all the workup, and we can check our TLC number 4. So I'm placing all 4 TLC together, and I will look at the, so that I can compare. And let's see, this is TLC 1, reaction 1, reaction 2, reaction 3, and reaction 4 after workup, after doing all the steps. It is very pure. All the starting material has been consumed. At this point, you can make a circle around the spot, and you can point the center of the circle. Now you can take the measurements to calculate RF value. Now in the meantime, the solvent on the watch glass will evaporate, leaving solid behind. We will wait for a couple of more minutes to make sure all the solvent evaporates. Please note, we are doing this evaporation step in the hood so that you do not have solvent vapor around you in the lab. Now before I take the weight of watch glass, I would like to scrap all the solid to make sure it's free flowing and it has minimum amount of solvent present. Now once it's completely dry, let's check the weight. Guys, it is very important you use the same weighing balance what you have used before to avoid any kind of error. Please write down the mass right away in your notebook because it's a very big number. It has 5 or 6 digits, so there is a chance of making mistake. Now at this time, I'm very interested in finding out what is the top spot, even though I assumed that's my product. But you can do IR spectroscopy, NMR, or you can run a TLC plate to check or to confirm what this top spot is. So you can dissolve your solid in acetone and prepare a new TLC plate. So first spot is alcohol or 9-fluorinol. Use a fresh capillary to spot your reaction mixture. And the third spot, I will use freshly prepared 9-fluorinone, which has been dissolved in acetone. You can use the same TLC chamber. Make sure it still has TLC eluting solvent. Once TLC is done, we will analyze using UV chamber. The first is 9-fluorinol, second is our reaction mixture, and the third is 9-fluorinone. You can see reaction mixture is similar to 9-fluorinone.